Hello everybody, it's Zachariah. As you may know, I just did a run a couple hours ago, but I want to do another run tonight because I just heard about what happened to Tuder 3 o'clock in the afternoon today. He was killed by a 19-year-old while trying to arrest him, and he worked for the mobile police department for 3 years. And the reason why I wanted to do it tonight is because I'm furious about this. This war against police somehow is not going to peace. It just keeps going on, and this needs to stop. Why can't they just go to peace? Because this violence needs to stop. Because they go home to husbands, wives, children every day, and then if they can't see them anymore, then that's just gonna break their hearts. And this needs to stop. So I wanted to do this one tonight in honor of Tuder, and I'll do a prayer and I'll be on my way. But this needs to stop soon. I'm going to do 4.5 laps from my loop, like always, which is 1 mile.
So for those of you that are tuning in right now, as you just heard Zachariah say, he just found out about 30 minutes ago about Officer Tuder from the mobile police department. 3 p.m. today was going to arrest a 19-year-old that had a warrant out for the arrest. And like Zachariah said, I couldn't have said it any better than him. We're getting furious over this because there's this war against police, and it's getting to a point to where it's getting ridiculous. And like Zachariah said, these people have husbands and wives and children that they come home to, and people need to stop. LEO's lives matter, and Zachariah, with how furious he was about it, said he wanted to run right now and just to stress to everybody that this kind of stuff can't keep happening. And even though he did a mile earlier, I didn't want to hold him back. So this is for Police Officer Tuder. Again, for those watching, Zachariah just did a run a couple hours ago, but he found out just 30 minutes ago about Police Officer Tuder in Mobile, Alabama, and when he found out why and with what happened, he was furious and wanted to run tonight. And if you're just tuning in the middle of it, listen to him at the beginning of this video, because what he said is so true. This violence against our law enforcement officers needs to stop. These people need to just... I don't even have a solution. Law enforcement officers' lives matter, and what they do for all of us on any given day is to protect and to serve. And to hear that yet another one was lost due to gun violence, it's getting heartbreaking, and it frustrated Zachariah, and he wanted to get in another run tonight right away to honor Tuder. I didn't want to tell him no, because he's passionate about our law enforcement officers, and he wanted to come out here and do this, and I didn't want to stop him. And so please, if you haven't listened to him at the beginning, please do. He's frustrated right now, and rightfully so. We all should be. But Tuder, this is for your honor. This is for you. Again, those of you that are just now tuning in, 3 p.m. this evening, we once again unnecessarily lost another young officer due to gun violence by an idiot. I mean, there's no better way to put it. It was a 19-year-old kid who also had his whole life ahead of him. I mean, you're 19, you got your whole life ahead of you. And gun violence once again took another officer from us, this time Officer Tuder. And our son just found out. We were just told the news. He read up about it, and Zechariah was frustrated. And with this frustration, he wanted to come out here and he wanted to do another mile. And he wanted to pay his respects now and make a point to everybody, and that is, this stuff needs to stop. So Zechariah is running 1 mile to honor Officer Tuder from the Mobile Police Department. So again, for those of you tuning in, we just lost Officer Sean Tuder at 3 p.m. today at the hands of a 19-year-old idiot that took it upon himself to end the life of a young officer who's only been on the force for 3 years, was just recently named Officer of the Month, and we unnecessarily lost another officer. And our son found out about it about 30 minutes ago, and when he found out the details about what happened, he was furious, and he wanted to come out here and just make a point to everybody and let people know that this kind of stuff needs to stop, and he wanted to pay his respects right away for Officer Tuder. He already ran 1 mile today, earlier, for Officer Carter, or Sergeant Carter, also from Alabama. But like Zechariah said at the beginning of this video, and I stress, if you're just tuning in, you haven't watched it from the beginning, his words are spot on. You know, this needs to stop somehow, some way. And our son wanted to pay his respects immediately, and that's what he's doing today for Officer Sean Tuder. So Zechariah is working his final lap for Officer Sean Tuder of the Mobile Police Department, who we just lost not even 4 or 5 hours ago at the hands of a 19-year-old kid who already had warrants out for his arrest and ruined the life of a young officer. And like all LEO families right now, we're furious, we're frustrated, and Zechariah wanted to run right away for him, and he wanted to make sure everybody knows that this kind of stuff needs to stop. So he's finishing up his last lap right now in honor of Officer Tuder. Zachariah, what are your final thoughts for Officer Tuder, and what's on your mind right now?
My final thoughts are just bless his family, blessings go out to him, blessings go out to his police department. Last year, mobile police department lost one last year too, so hopefully this does not continue for mobile police department, but this needs to stop. I'll keep doing this till the day I'll keep running till the day I die if police officers and people just don't create world peace. So just this needs to stop soon, and it just has to stop. Bye guys.